Yo, what's up guys? Malicious Mewtwo here for the draft analysis of the UPU. And I would like to give a shout out to Logical Rhythm for giving me this background. He made it for me, actually for Season 2. I never got to use it, but now we're here, and it's time to use this. It actually looks pretty sick, in my opinion, because I like it. I like poker. I don't know, blue's just my favorite color, and it's just really cool. But besides that, I'm actually gonna lower the volume of the music real quick for a little bit. But you're here to show off our team and talk about why we drafted it for the UPU. And honestly, I probably should have put UPU somewhere up on here, but it's fine. It's fine. This is a draft analysis for the UPU. I'll put the UPU thing in the title, or like, what is it? I don't even know what it's called. Besides that, oh, the thumbnail, and in the title. Yeah, that. But okay. First Pokemon I want to talk about. That I'm not talking it in the way I ordered it. I'm talking about it by OUUUNUPURU, other Mega, and some other stuff. And I'll explain each one as we go along. Okay. First one, Weavile. So this is one of our first OU-mons. And I chose Weavile because I needed a fast hitter that was dark type that could make sure it get off its knockoffs and also have its ice moves that could do a hefty amount to most Pokemon. And running Life Orb, Choice Banded, and occasionally the Choice Scarf may come into handy very well. So yes, 120 attack, 125 speed, so it can hit like a truck, basically. And Weavile, oh yeah, also one thing is, we got 3 Z move users, and I did heavily consider using a Weavile at one point, just because it seemed like it was quite possibly one of the best ones, just because base 125 speed with 120 attack, you can really get something off quick and hit someone hard with the Z move. But the only thing is, he's fragile in both departments, especially and physically. So, on all honesty, I probably should have used him as a Z move user, but I didn't. But you'll maybe see why later on why we didn't. Okay, so next Pokemon, Clefable. Now this Pokemon, one mother trucker, because it can live for days. This Pokemon is really good, in my opinion, because it has 3 awesome abilities, I believe. Besides Cute Charm. Cute Charm is one of them, but it's not like it's terrible, but you never use it competitively. But it has Magic Guard, and it has Unaware. So anybody who's trying to set up Sweep Me, I got Unaware. If I need Magic Guard for Life Orb, it makes it a really good special attacker. Or even physical if I wanted to try to run that. But besides that, it's also tanky because Magic Guard doesn't let you take any recoil that isn't from an attack, basically. So you don't get like toxic, you don't get burned, you don't take Life Orb, and you don't take a few other things like Leech Seed. And besides that, its stats in general, I was testing it out in like the pre-draft when I was like trying to figure it out. Clefable, when only max HP, lives so many hits from so many Pokemon that it's actually ridiculous. So this thing can hit really hard, just naturally having base 95, and then also be super tanky if necessary. Because there's so many sets. There's Calm Mind, there's Stored Power with Cosmic Power. You can run Moonlight, and then there's also Stealth Rocks, Heal Bell, Soft Boiled, Moonlight. There's just so many things to Clefable, and it'll be really nice just to see how we're going to be able to use it. Next one. This one was actually my franchise. Now, if you don't know what a franchise is, a franchise Pokemon is a Pokemon that you're allowed to take from your old team and in the season before, if you were a part of the earlier season, that is. I chose to bring back Porygon Z. Now, there were several reasons. Porygon Z is a great special attack that can be run Choice Scarf, Life Orb, Choice Specs, and it has Agility, Nasty Plot. But then another thing that is very nice is with adaptability, using any of its Z moves with normal really helps because it can take out a lot of Pokemon, special or physical, because you may see later on there is a way to run to-dos physical to your advantage sometimes, but it all is more a little cautious oriented is what I say, because you have to be careful on when you use the physical one. But besides that, it also gets conversion, which gives you +1 in every stat, and when you're able to change your typing plus do that, it's really you're really able to psych out the opponent and trying to figure out what they're gonna do. So that was really nice, being able to get Porygon Z back on the team, because I think Porygon Z is the only Pokemon that lasts from Season 1 all the way to Season 3. Oh, I didn't even put this up. Yeah, so it has a high special attack, or 135, gets adaptability, even download. Download is actually really good, depending upon what Pokemon you send it out, because you can get that special attack boost, and that's normally when you're going to use it, but you're able to get like +2 when you use the Z conversion, and I've been able to do it like practicing with Porygon Z, messing around with it, and it's really nice because then the stats just go off the chart and you're able to take out a lot of Pokemon. Okay, next one, in UU, we ended up, another UU that we drafted was Milotic. We got Milotic, and it was pretty interesting because I wasn't exactly thinking that I was going to draft Milotic, but I needed another defensive Pokemon, or defensive in general, in all means, because with Marvel Scale, it actually gets a ridiculous amount of defense, like if you get Toxic Burned or Thunder Wave by like the opponent, or even if you run Flame Orb. And you might see that later throughout the season of us running that. But it has 81 speed, which makes it decently fast compared to most Pokemon. 95 HP, 79 defense, and 125 special defense. So we definitely have a good special defensive Pokemon, or even defensive if we ever need to. Learns Recover, it has Dragon Tail, though I think it may be Roar, but it's like either of those work just for switching out Pokemon that's set up. If you get the call right. Like, yeah, is basically what I mean. And then 100 special attack. It also has competitive. So, anybody who has a lot of Intimidate mons, but that's kind of like more predicting them to bring it, because there's 12 different Pokemon that people can bring. Or you have to be like reliant on Sticky Webs being out on the field. And there's only so many people who have Sticky Web users. So that'll be definitely very interesting. Okay. But overall, I mean, Milotic is good defensively, could be a special attacker. Its coverage is kind of bad on the special attacking side, because it only gets Water, Dragon. It only gets like a Water move, Ice move, Bug, and Dragon. But I don't even know if Dragon, I think it's just Twister. I don't even think it's like something extraordinary. But overall, it's going to be more of a tank than anything. Okay, next Pokemon. Delphox. Now, we talked about Porygon Z being our Z move user. Oh, I actually brought that up. Yeah, Porygon Z is one of the 3 Z move users that we are going to be using. So, the next one is Delphox. Now, Delphox seems a little bit more questionable compared to Porygon Z. But looking at its stats, it actually is decently fast. Faster than Porygon Z, that is for sure. But it also has a great special attack. So we're going to try to use that special attack to our advantage, because it learns Shadow Ball, it learns Psychic, it learns Dazzling Gleam, Fire Blast, Signal Beam. Now, the only biggest difference between, I think I said Solar Beam, but yeah, Solar Beam is there as well. But Porygon Z compared to Delphox, the only biggest difference is you get a hard hitting Z move for Solar Beam, Fire Blast, and it's not that it doesn't use Psychic ones to its best advantage, but Delphox can probably hit a little bit harder, because when you're trying to use Z conversion, Psychic is probably not the best one to switch to unless there's like a more specific reason. Um, but yeah, it also has Calm Mind. There's like different variants of Sunny D, Fire MZ that you can use for not having to rely on using a Z move on Solar Beam. So that is something that is definitely going to be helpful as we go along in the season. So, but yeah, this is a Z move user, and I don't think it learns anything too extraordinary. Oh, Dazzling Gleam. It also has Dazzling Gleam. I know I set that up, but Porygon Z does not learn a fairy move, so that kind of gives us a hard hitting fairy move, which is also very nice. Okay, but we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Dodrio. And Dodrio, in all fairness, I love Dodrio because it has a good attack stat, it has a good speed, and it has natural bulk to an extent. Now, it's not the best, but you can definitely lift some hits. And some of the moves that it learns is like Jump Kick, Knock Off, Brave Bird, Quick Attack for that priority, and then I know it learns Return. Like, that's about the best you're getting with it, but it also learns Swords Dance, Agility, and Baton Pass. So there's something right there that if I want to be cheeky with that I can try, but I haven't decided yet how specific I'm gonna go about that. But that's just there. And I mean, using Life Orb or even Choice Banded, Choice Scarf, very helpful because they can outspeed or do a lot of damage to most Pokemon. Next Pokemon on a list is Crickethoon. Now, Crickethoon, if you play more competitive, you obviously know why it's drafted on my team right now. All for its sticky web purpose for the most part, but there are some things that I can definitely see Crickethoon probably helping out with against certain Pokemon later on in the future. Because Crickethoon has Technician, and there are a lot of moves actually that I would say Crickethoon learns that Technician will help out, because it has like Fell Stinger, Aerial Ace. I mean, Knockoff doesn't get boosted, but I mean, I know it has a few more, and if like you wanted to run special with Hidden Power, you definitely could, because that does boost it base 90. So that'll be very nice. I mean, it all depends, and it's probably going to be more Focus Sash, Sticky Webs, and then have a few attacks just to be able to throw out there when necessary or when needed. But yeah, I mean, more or less that's about what Crickethoon will be doing for this team, is to set up Sticky Webs when needed. Next Pokemon. Oh, I kind of have been dipping around this. It's Clefable and Weavile are OU. Porygon Z and Milotic are UU. Delphox and Dodrio are RU, in case you guys did not realize that, because I never said that. Crickethoon is the first NU Pokemon, and then the next one is Sandslash. Now, Sandslash is here as a Rapid Spinner, but there is a bunch of potential for sweeping with Sandslash. For those of you who pay attention to its abilities, it learns Sand Rush, which gives you double the speed with your when Sandstorm is up. So there's a good chance that I could run Sand Rush, and I will do it several times in the future with Sand Rush, Sandstorm, and even Swords Dance. I don't have a Pokemon necessarily that can run Sandstorm, but it's like if I did, maybe it'd be like Sandstorm with the rock on it, and then switch out to Sandslash, Swords Dance, and then try to wreck house. Because it's kind of questionable just because its speed's base 65, which is good, and then double the speed, that's actually very nice. And then having 100 attack, it's really good. But the only problem is that sometimes Scarfmons may be able to outspeed it, depending upon their speed, since 65 is still on the low tier for like speeds. But nonetheless, Sandslash is here to Earthquake, Knock Off, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Toxic Stall, really whatever we need it to, because I'd say it's still diverse, because you can run Speedy, you can run Bulky Tank, or I mean, that's about it. Those are the main sets, but I mean, it does have a wide variety of move pool, because it learns X's or Knockoff, Iron Tail, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Stone Edge. Poison Jab, so it's very wide variety for us, which is very nice. Moving on to what is considered to be our technical other Pokemon, and our other Pokemon, or no, not other, our RU and below. So we are allowed one RU and below. In case someone didn't want RU, they wanted NU or PU, you could choose whichever two you want. Most people just chose another RU, and my other RU was Durant. Now, Durant, ladies and gentlemen, our final Z move user on our team. Now, Durant is one Z move user that is kind of busted, because if you all know its abilities, it learns Truant, Hustle, and then I think another one. But let's go back to Hustle. Hustle gives you times 1.5 attack and takes away like 20% of your accuracy. So it goes down to 80% of whatever accuracy the move has. With base 109 and having Hustle, Z moves always hit. It's 100% guaranteed to always hit. So if Hustle gives you the boost, it's like using Aerial Ace. You use Hustle with Aerial Ace, it still gets the attack boost, but it just can't miss because it's always going to hit. Same thing with the Z moves. It's always going to hit and do a massive amount of damage to any Pokemon. Now, the only downside with Durant is a lot of people will probably be expecting this. May run Choice Scarf, may do something else that will be cheeky in their eyes to try to kill Durant. So I have to really be careful on how I use Durant, because Durant's kind of like using a Scizor or a Fortress. A lot of Pokemon will run HP Fire or any fire move they see given when coming up against a Pokemon like that. And there are a lot of Choice Scarfers that can definitely hit and Power Fire, or even put natural Pokemon that outspeed that could probably kill me. So I will have to be more weary about how I attempt to approach to use my Z move users, because I have three great ones, and like Durant being the only physical one, or like Porygon Z having it there because it can be physical, but Durant literally is just great because it'll hit way harder than Weavile, no offense, with a Z move user. So I do have a wide variety of Z move users for typing wise, is what I would say. But yeah, but Durant has great attack, great speed, has decent defense, so it's gonna live. Its special defense is pretty bad, so most likely it's gonna die nonetheless. But yeah. Now the next Pokemon on this list is Dusknoir. Now Dusknoir, I believe, is our other Pokemon technically. Now Dusknoir being our other Pokemon is, when you choose an OU Mega, you can get an RU Pokemon or lower. When you choose a UU Mega, you get UU and lower, I believe. And then when you choose RU and lower, you get an OU. Or an RU Mega, you get OU and lower. That's what it was, yeah. So, we got our boy Dusknoir, because, as you will now know, an OU Mega was chosen. Now, we did make our own tiers, so you might have an idea, because some of them are OU, but some of them got moved around because people thought that they were OU more based in their eyes. But it's not questionable. Besides that, we got Dusknoir. Dusknoir is a great defensive Pokemon, and in a way, because it has 135 defenses and 45 HP. 45 HP is kind of bad, but it does learn Pain Split. Since it has a low HP and it will go down faster, you'll be able to Pain Split and take away a lot of the health from most Pokemon. And 100 attack, that's really great, because most of the time, you're not really looking to run max HP, max defense Dusknoir. Now you can, and there might be some instances where I might just have to go and use that, because that might be my best option. But you're most likely going to be running Trick Room, or you're going to be running like a very hard-hitting Dusknoir, maybe Choice Banded, or not even Choice Banded, because it has a wide variety with all the elemental punches, learning Brick Break, Power Punch, Shadow Punch. I think it learns Earthquake too, I'm pretty sure. So it'll definitely be able to put its work in, and if I want to, run some interesting sets. Fun fact, does learn Focus Punch, so I will be running Sub-Focus Punch probably as we go on, just because Focus Punch will be able to hit very, very hard. Okay, Oh. Next Pokemon is Detonate. This was my PU pick. Now, I didn't exactly want Detonate, but it seemed the best one because I wasn't looking for necessarily another fairy type, but I most definitely was looking for an electric type. Now, having 101 speed, 81 special attack now, people would say this Pokemon's very mediocre, that's why it's in the PU tier, but it has Cheek Pouch, so it can be run defensively, and you can have berries on it, or even speedy and special attacking, and you can run berries on it, because Cheek Pouch will be able to give you health back, so you'll be having a decent survivability rate. So, and it does learn Recycle, so Recycle Cheek Pouch, you're getting a lot of health if you run Citrus Berry on that, because you can just stall out for the most part. And I know it learns Nuzzle to Paralyze, and it learns like Charge Beam, Hidden Powers, Grass Knot, Thunderbolt. The only bad thing is it doesn't even learn Dazzling Gleam, so like no fairy coverage, but that's fine. Most of the time it's not like it's super needed. It'd be very nice just to have as an option, but it'll be fine for the most part. But the Detonate will be, I don't know if or how I will use it. I may use it, I may not, because like Porygon Z with conversion also can go electric type, or I can run Thunderbolt on there if needed. And I have Thunder Punch for Dusknoir, and it all depends, because the next Pokemon, which is my Mega, I do have that could probably be good over Detonate. But it all depends. Maybe I will bring it one time. I just got to figure out the right situation for it. But the very last Pokemon that I have for this draft in the UPU is, Mega Venusaur. Now, Mega Venusaur, base 100 attack, base 122 special attack, obviously will be able to hit decently hard on both, because there are times where you may need to run Knockoff, Earthquake, Power Whip, Outrage on Venusaur. Now those ones are, Knockoff is way more, Knockoff and Earthquake are probably going to be used way more than like Power Whip and Outrage, but they're still there as a viable option if I need to run physical, because it learns Swords Dance and it learns Growth, so that will be very nice if I ever need to set up, which in some cases later on you may see me try to set up. But 122 defense and 120 special defense, 80 HP. That is one tanky Pokemon. Plus it learns Thick Fat. So fire and ice moves, which are normally super effective, are not super effective. They now do neutral. So then ideally its weaknesses are only Psychic, Flying, and that's literally it. Because fire and ice do only neutral damage. Now, doesn't mean that it won't take a lot of damage from either of those, because it definitely will, depending upon the attack stat or choice specs, choice banded from the Pokemon. But this Pokemon will be very, very helpful, because it learns Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Sleep Powder, Leech Seed, a bunch of great moves that will be able to pull through on many different occasions. And that is it. That is the UPU draft. These are my 12 Pokemon that I will be bringing to all my battles. Now, hopefully, I will not have to use any agency trades. There may be cases where I may have to, and if we're going to be honest, the only one I see ever getting traded is Dedenne. Sadly. It's not that I want to, but it's just because there might be a better electric type in the tier of PU that'll be way more helpful, just because it might have more variety, it might have a different set that I can use, but not that Dedenne is bad. It can definitely have its perks during certain times. But other than that, that's all. And just to recap, Porygon Z is my Z-move user, Delphox is my Z-move user, and so is Durant. So, thank you again for watching this draft analysis, and hopefully you guys will be sticking around for the team builders, and you will also be sticking around for the videos that will occur on Sunday, because this was the first day of the UPU Season 3, so next week, expect the battle on Sunday. This Wednesday, expect a team builder for our first opponent In the description, I will probably put who our opponent is, or figure out a way to mess with it, because there is some if you want to be truthful, ideally we've already started doing some battles, so I don't want you guys to see who's won and who's lost necessarily. So I'll probably just figure that out to show you all the stats and everything. But just so you're all aware, we battle Andrew week 1, Green Bay Gardevoirs, against this draft that we have. Now in the team builder, I will be talking about their Pokemon and their team and whatnot. So just wait for that to come and you'll see everything that's going to happen. But once again, like, comment, subscribe down below, and thank you. This is Malicious Mewtwo, and I will see you guys next time.